I'm John and she's Kate, and this is Plus 8 on Blog. Today, we're discussing crazy reasons why characters join Street Fighter tournaments. And these are the characters where Capcom had to sit down and figure out their motivations, and then they looked at their clock and their watches and they said, hey, I've got 5 minutes before I have to leave. Let me just write something out. And that's pretty much the only justification I can think of for why these things turned out the way they did. Before we get started, if you can leave a like, it helps out our channel so much, and we very much appreciate it. So getting started here with Elena. She enters the Street Fighter 3 tournament to make new friends. This is pretty off-putting actually to some of the cast, as when Elena fights Makoto in the game, Makoto thinks her smile is creepy, even though that Elena is just trying to be friendly. And this is a tournament, I will remind everyone, where you kick the living crap out of the other person and then taunt them at the end with a win quote. That is not a good way to make friends.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. It's like, we're going to make some friends. We're going to, thumb war and arm wrestle the whole entire way, and then buy each other a beer afterwards.
Yeah, that doesn't usually happen that way. Like, if you're taunting people, you're probably not going to be your friend afterwards. That's why I've got Elena as so crazy, and she was not well liked in Street Fighter 4 because of her gameplay. She would hit you a bunch of times, run away, and then heal up.
That's right.
And oh boy, the sentiment around this character has not been good. However, her friend-making powers cannot be underestimated. Because despite being incredibly hated by a lot of people, she somehow got Akuma to pose for a photo with her. This is Akuma who murders people's souls to test them. And he stops and pauses to take a photo with Elena. That is some impressive friend-making ability. In her Street Fighter 4 ending, she wants to make friends in every country there is. So if you live in Zimbabwe, keep an eye out for Elena, because she definitely wants to be your friend. So friend zoned, be damned, or be invited, who knows. So Kate, who do you have next on the list?
Well, we're going to take a look at Dee Jay, and he's my main in Street Fighter 6. I love playing Dee Jay. And of course, here, one of his classic stories, he's seeking inspiration to develop a new reggae musical sound at a fighting game tournament. So you never think fighting and music would kind of go together, but he figured it out with the rhythm. Imagine if you enter an MMA competition and your main goal is to find a new rhythm and musical style by beating the crap out of your opponent. That's exactly what Dee Jay is doing with his maracas here. Apparently he's successful at doing this because Kimberly does rock out in her tunes when she has the level 3. Is she listening to Dee Jay? Probably.
Yes.
Because he's a superstar.
Yeah, and also in his ending in Street Fighter 6, Kimberly and Dee Jay, they actually collaborate on a new song. So his music career is somehow alive and well. But I wanted to actually compare this to a real life person. In this would be like if Bono from U2 is running out of ideas. He's got writer's block and stuff like that. And he enters a martial arts tournament to try to find some inspiration for new material. That's pretty much what the developers did here with Dee Jay. And they're like, yeah, music's a cure all for, for fighting and for all this other kind of stuff. Just oh my gosh, someone really needed to get out on a date that night and just typed some stuff in for Dee Jay and moved on. But moving on to the next character here, we've got Dudley. Dudley enters the Street Fighter 3 tournament because his car was taken by Gil, the main boss of the game. Now, I want to contrast this here with M. Bison, who's the main boss of many other Street Fighter games, who has murdered family members and done all sorts of evil things. Gil has purchased Dee Jay's car. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dudley beats Gil. The Illuminati boss orders Colleen to give him back his car keys, and while Dudley loves his car, which was his father's, it's not exactly in the best of condition because the steering wheel literally pops off while he's driving it. Yes. And then he joins the Street Fighter 4 tournament so he can travel and get new roses for his garden, which he actually fails to do in his ending. So Dudley's motivations here are about as crazy as you can imagine for a fighting game character. It's adding roses to his garden and getting back his car. Yeah, I really don't know what the developers are smoking on that end. It's really odd, but this is why Dudley is so beloved in our community, is he sips his tea while wearing boxing gloves and uses pruning shears and apparently opens letters with his boxing gloves on. That makes him amazing. Kate, have you ever worn boxing gloves and tried to drink tea before? Have you ever done that?
Oh my gosh. I had taken some boxing classes back in the day, And basically, for a water bottle, you kind of just do something like this.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny.
Yes. So Dudley has no problems with that. That is how awesome he is. And he also has one of the greatest theme songs ever, which you've been hearing while you've been doing this segment. It is his Third Strike song. It still kicks butt. Kate, who do we have next?
We have Sakura when she went to the beach a little too long and became sunburned. Sado no Hado Sakura here. Coming from Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Sakura was training with Ryu during a summer holiday, and she took a nap, fell asleep on the beach. When she woke up, she had this horrible burn all over her body, and she picked up Akuma-like angry powers. Because she got all these powers, super strong, but she did not have the intent to murder and have the craziness that Akuma has. So, as Sakura's sunburn fades, so does her Akuma powers, and she reverts back to her regular Sakura self. The developers joked maybe that she should be spending more time in the tanning salon, considering what happened to Sakura. But it's not officially canon. So the story is just absolutely amazing, and I had heard of it, and I didn't even think that it was true. And then I looked it up online and saw that it was a real thing. So that is a very neat, very cool idea. Very neat.
Yeah, the next time you go 0-2 in tournament, make sure you hit the tanning salon beforehand, because you're going to develop some Satsui no something kind of powers as well, and you're going to do great until your tan fades away, and then not so well. But the next character we've got up here is El Fuerte, who looks at two guys kicking the crap out of each other and says, you know what? I bet they'd have great ideas for the culinary arts. Yeah, that is what El Fuerte does. He aims to become the ultimate chef by collecting recipes from people in the World Warrior Tournament. Who exactly in the World Warrior Tournament knows about cooking, though? And that's pretty much the answer is no one. And he actually ends up getting advice from Zangief and Honda, which does not go well. The idea is bonkers to begin with, and it's not helped by the fact that El Fuerte cannot cook, and he has no idea how to prepare food. He's actually a terrible cook, like absolutely awful, even worse than I am, which is saying something. And he offers to cook meals for his adversaries, which is actually not a bad strategy to win the tournament, considering how awful he is at doing so, because if you eat his food, you're likely going to get sick, and then you can't fight him. So he thinks he can make great meals by throwing random ingredients into them, into a pot, which disgusts and astounds people. The people who see him preparing food, it is a nightmare watching this guy prepare for food and stuff. It just, yeah.
One thing for sure, too, he and Honda would really go back and forth, like you were saying in Street Fighter 4, over recipes and who has the best meals and things like that. I remember Honda's always saying Chanko stew was some of the best. And that's actually a very protein-full stew, robust, that the sumos eat. Yeah, I ended up looking that up. And in Street Fighter 6, he has his restaurant in there where they serve a lot of that in it.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Yeah. If it's El Fuerte cooking it, you might not want to eat it. So just be careful. We have a few dishonorable mentions here for crazy plots. That would be Ibuki joining to meet cool and handsome boys, which sometimes goes okay for her, I guess, sometimes not. They seem to rope her into ninjutsu classes, and Hakan, who also joins to showcase his oil recipe and find new oil recipes in the process, but there's no one in the World Warrior Tournament who can really help him. He's just kind of randomly joining to show how crazy he is.
We hope you guys are enjoying our shows and our segments, everything, and it's been a lot of fun making these together, John and I, and hope you guys enjoy them too. Thank you guys for watching our videos.